Blog for the Blood God.
Hey guys, how you going? Dean from Blog for the Blood God here, and I've got a 1500 point 8th edition battle report for you tonight. I've got Dwayne from District Terror with me, and we're going to be testing out 8th edition for Dwayne's first game. So I'll quickly run you through my list, hand the camera over to Dwayne, he'll run you through his, and then we'll get started. So I have a battalion detachment. First HQ slot is Khan the Betrayer. Second HQ slot is a Khorne Lord, or a Chaos Lord on a Juggernaut. Then in my 3 mandatory troops choices, I have 3 units of 8 Khorne Berserkers, all of which have Chain Axe and Chain Sword. So no pistols, no firing weapons on them. Then in my elite slot, I have 4 Juggernauts, 4 Blood Crushers, who are going to be escorting the Lord. And then in my heavy support slot, I have 3 Predators. Each one has a Predator autocannon and 2 side-sponson las cannons. So this is my way. I really wanted to try out Predators in a battle report, and I really wanted to try a few more Berserkers. I've ran a single squad before in 8th, but not 3, so yeah, we'll see how they go. So yeah, that's my army, comes in at 1500 points, and I'll hand the camera over to Dwayne, and he'll run you through his.
So here's my 1500 army for my game versus Dean, who is graciously tailored.
Oh, have I?
Predators versus Vindicators. I think I know which wins. Oh, maybe I don't. Anyway, so we've got a Land Raider here. I've been using this army as Space Marines for a while, so a lot of the changes won't really match with the war gear I'm using. But so we've got a basic Land Raider, 5 Terminators running with Power Swords. Couldn't justify combi weapons on them. 3 Spawn, Demon Prince with wings for a HQ slot. 2 Vindies, nothing special on them. 5 Marines here with a Rhino. 5 Marines with a Rhino. 5 Marines and a Rhino. All with 1 Melter Gun. 3 Obliterators. They have very interesting new rules. So even though it's going to be pretty complicated the first couple of times, I'm really interested in seeing how they go. And the second obligatory slot is the Chaos Sorcerer on bike. So yeah, that's about it. It's as complicated as it gets.
Battalion with a auxiliary heavy support.
Yeah, so it's running a battalion. I was worried I couldn't fit it all in, but apparently you can just add extra support slots and heavies and whatever, wherever you feel like it. Who cares anymore?
Yeah, you sacrifice.
Just do what you want.
But it's all good. It's all good.
Anyway, yeah, let's see how we go.
Alrighty, guys. So we've finished our deployment. We decided to do secure and control as our mission. Dwayne ran the roll-off to determine the mission, the deployment zone, sorry. So we've placed, my objective is here, in my deployment zone, and Dwayne has placed his over here. Dwayne then deployed his first unit, so he deployed the Land Raider. I responded by deploying Predator, and then we just went back and forth, and I finished deploying my units last, which means I get first turn. No, I finished deploying my units first, sorry. So that means I get first turn. So for deployment, Dwayne's got Terminators in a Land Raider, the Marines in the Rhinos, Vindicators up the back there, Demon Prince behind the Vindicators, Spawn, and then a Sorcerer behind the Spawn. So he's all castled up over here.
No idea what I'm doing.
And then over here, I've spread out a little bit more than Dwayne has. So I've got my Chaos Lord on Juggernaut with the Blood Crushers, Predator up here, a line of Berserkers along the front, and then 2 more Predators over here. So this is obviously Dwayne's first game, and we're all still learning, so don't be too critical of us with our tactical decisions. It's actually really interesting the way the deployment works, because you can't just straight counter-deploy on your army, your opponent. Whereas previously they'd deploy their entire army, and then you'd just be like, suck a dick, I'm going to deploy my entire army over here, and make you have to run across the table, sort of thing. Whereas now, since it's bit for bit, you can sort of psych them out by throwing a Land Raider on one side, so they put some of their army on that side, and then you put the rest of your army on the other side. So there's a significant difference in the way armies are deployed in this edition. But yeah, so Dwayne, would you like to roll to seize the initiative?
Still a thing.
It is definitely still a thing. You have 5 command points as well, which means...
Can I just point out, I have not read the rulebook.
He hasn't, but I'll keep you up to date. So,
Are we ready?
Yep, so we're rolling for a C's, looking for a 6.
1.
Ah, it's a fucking called it. Now, would you like to use a command point
Nah.
and re-roll
There
it?
is no way that's going to be a 6.
Alright.
I'm
No.
just going to roll it for the sake of it.
No. Alright, good call. So no command points spent, and first turn goes to me, so we'll be right back. Alrighty guys, nice, quick, easy first turn for me. So everything moved and advanced up the field. I rolled pretty good with my advance rolls. The Blood Crushers rolled a 4, which got them up to 12 inches. And then the Berserkers all rolled 5s and 6s, which got them up to the pretty much all to the halfway line. And then in my shooting phase, I simply fired all 3 Predators at his Land Raider and managed to chip off 13 out of its 16 hull points. So it didn't quite pop it, but I've put it down to very severely reduced capacity. So we'll see what Dwayne can do in return.
So here we are at the end of my first turn. Land Raider puckered up its best aiming and got 5 wounds off that old Predator up there. Terminators popped out, took 2 Khorne Berserkers out. Spawn is sort of just moving into a counter-assault position. The Rhinos are trying to be a little bit more defensive. Marines from both squads targeted the Berserk, what are they? Blood Crushers. Did a couple of wounds, but it was the Vindicator here that finished them off. This one missed.
Yeah.
It had 1 shot and missed.
Yeah.
Terminators, took out the things, didn't make charge, unfortunately. Marines over here did not make charge. We can't find any rule about rapid fire not disallowing you from charging, so if you've got something on there to say otherwise, let us know. Obliterators came down, look at this beautiful position, and accomplished zilch.
They literally did no damage to that Predator whatsoever.
Hit 2, and then did nothing with it.
6 shots and only got 2 hits, and then they were both strength 7.
So welcome to my dice. Actually, Smite was pretty good too. Smite got off 3 mortal wounds, which
dropped the Crusher.
Pretty tops. So I'm pretty happy with that, actually. So Dean's pile of dead is looking bigger than mine. So I didn't think that would be happening at this stage.
For now.
But the Obliterators, if they keep up that streak, they're not going anywhere. And they're probably going in the bin. Alright, on to Dean's turn.
Alrighty guys, here we have the end of my turn 2, which is apparently complete bullshit, according to Dwayne, but it was pretty savage. So we had everything moved up forwards. In the shooting phase, I had this Predator fired at the Land Raider and missed all of its shots. This Predator fired into the Obliterators and did no damage whatsoever. But then this Predator fired into the Land Raider and finished it off, so it's now destroyed. Then I charged the Obliterators with my Predator. I failed to do any damage to him, but he also failed to do any damage to me, which is fantastic because now if those Obliterators want to shoot me, they're going to have to fall back, in which case they can't shoot, and then I'm just going to shoot them and charge them again, and I'm just going to keep repeating that cycle. So that just goes to show that deep striking in a unit like Obliterators to try and pop a vehicle.
Never using Obliterators again.
Yeah. Dwayne's adamant. Obliterators are trash.
That is so bad.
I think their thing is you've got to, because they've got 24-inch range, you want to drop them down right on that 24-inch line so that you can get around to shooting into me, and then I can't charge you because you're 24 inches away, and then I have to sort of keep chasing you, and you can keep walking backwards and getting more shots. But either way, they're pretty much useless for the rest of the game.
Yeah, fantastic.
Then we had charges. So the Juggerlord charged into the Sorcerer and did 2 wounds?
3.
3 wounds?
Their wounds taken. So I've got 2
yes, yep, their wounds taken, that's right. So 3 wounds taken. That Juggerlord has no close combat weapon upgrades, he's just got a chainsword. So to be able to do 3 wounds on a Sorcerer is pretty good. The Juggernaut...
3 2s.
Yeah, the Juggernaut himself, like the bladed horn on the Juggernaut is pretty good. Then I basically had all of the Berserkers charged in. I managed to wipe out 3 of the Marines, took a single wound off of the Rhino, killed 1.5 Spawn, and killed 4 out of the 5 Terminators. And the best part is because Berserkers can charge, then pile in and fight twice, I was able to wrap the unit around this Terminator, which now means in his turn, when he wants to fall back, he can't, which means he can't shoot those Berserkers. So that's a little trick that you can use to stop your Berserkers from getting fucked. if your opponent has any models left, use those additional pile-in moves. Because the only rule for pile-ins is that it has to be used to move towards the closest enemy or model.
I was actually going to ask that.
So
Trick or treat?
Trick or treat, yeah. So as long as you're moving towards the nearest enemy model, you're fine. You got a 3-inch move towards the nearest enemy model. So I just use that to wrap them around because they get to do it twice. Chances of you wrapping a unit's pretty good, especially if it's only one model left. So yeah, that summarizes my turn, and we're going to jump over into Dwayne's turn 2.
Here we are at the end of
Turn
2. Wow, it's gone slower than I expected, but we're both learning. For me, I've lost the Terminator unit. They held on pretty well, but the last couple of wounds were just enough to push them over. The Marines obviously were very easy to kill. The Rhino and the Marines here fled, letting the Vindicators take some shots, which I killed like 3 or 4 Berserkers. I did alright.
Yeah, you killed quite a few.
Obviously with better planning and more tactics, I could have taken more advantage of that. These guys up here are just moving towards the Predator, which is the furthest possible place from everything else.
Demon Prince killed my Juggerlord.
Yeah, Demon Prince jumped down, killed the Juggerlord before it even had a chance to do anything. Bike Dude didn't get to do anything, he just watched.
Because the Demon Prince killed him before.
He's a bit of a voyeur. Nothing happened on this side. I just lost a lot of stuff. I actually thought it was Dean's turn because so much of my stuff died. I figured it was his.
The Berserkers getting to strike twice was huge.
Yeah, the Spawn died. The Spawn are actually amazing in this. I'd put Spawn on the table before I put Obliterators on the table again.
Yeah.
Speaking of, nothing. Absolutely nothing here. If I run, he just gets to shoot me and then charge me again. If he runs, he gets to shoot me twice. There's no point.
If I run, you get to shoot me and charge
there's
me.
There's no use. Yeah, and their shooting is not much better than their charging. So I do not rate these. They'll be Terminators for the next game, trust me. Underwhelming in some areas, but I don't feel like I've lost as much as I thought I was going to from that charge. I held on.
Concerned about what's going on over here. You've still got the Sorcerer of Ryan.
I've still got my heavy hitters. The Vindicators, the Bike Lord, and the Prince are all still alive. While you've just got like strugglers of Khorne Berserkers. The las cannons are annoying, fair enough, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. Here we are at the end of my turn 3. So we had the Predator fired at this Rhino. I wanted to fire at the Demon Prince, but because the Rhino was closer, it meant I couldn't target the Demon Prince. So I had to fire at the Rhino, which was very smart of Dwayne to charge that Rhino up. I don't think it was intentional, but it was
very on purpose.
It was a very solid move. Khan moved around here to hunt down the Rhino. These Berserkers took 5 wounds off of that Rhino. I had 2 units of 3 Berserkers here, charged in and killed the Plague Marines. Oh no, they're not Plague Marines, are they? They're just Chaos Space Marines.
They're just regular Marines, dude. They're not even tough.
Yeah, so the Marines that were there, and they also killed the Sorcerer. Interestingly, their pile-in moves were really good here as well. I was able to charge in 1 unit of 3 into the Marines. They killed those Marines in their first round of combat, so then they piled into and attacked the Sorcerer because I declared that I was charging both. And then these Marines were charging into the Sorcerer, and then because they killed the Sorcerer, they got to pile in and attack the Prince. So that was pretty solid, and I did 3 wounds to the Prince. But then in return, when he got to strike, his Prince wiped out a unit of 3. And now it's going to be his turn 3, and he's going to finish off those Marines, and I'm going to be left with just Khan versus fucking the world. But yeah, so that pretty much summarizes my turn. Once again, we had the combat over here with the Obliterators versus the Predator, where nothing happened at all. So that's a big stalemate. But yeah, so we'll jump into Dwayne's turn 3, and we'll be right back.
And we're back. Demon Prince finished off the Khorne Berserkers there. Wasn't too much help needed there. Vindicator's Shell on Khan, though, managed to score himself 4 wounds, which is pretty impressive. It was my turn. Why am I asking you what you shot at? Over here, though, interestingly enough, both the Obliterators and the Predator scored a wound that went through on each other. So we're getting somewhere. 2 games from now, one of them will die.
10 wounds to go.
Yeah. Both Rhinos and the Marines, again, have pushed straight up the field. Everything's sort of holding steady.
My Berserkers finished off this Rhino.
Berserkers just finished off the Rhino. It took 2 rounds of combat, and they're pretty good at it.
Yeah.
It still took 2 rounds. He got just enough through. Failed to roll for the explode, so I used the command point to re-roll it, and it was sitting on the 6 and tipped over to a 2 at the last possible split second.
It seriously stopped on a 6 for like
Ridiculous.
a millisecond, and then just went, nah, fuck yeah, and tipped over onto a 2. It was retarded.
Hypothetically rolled it out, and I would have dropped 6 Corn Berserkers straight there with an explodes result.
So,
do we remove them off the board when they're exploded, or do they still hold present?
I'd say so, yeah.
Well, we'll deal with that next time. But yeah, that was a pretty good turn for me. I'm happy with that. Like, a lot's moving in my favour, I feel, at this stage. I thought Dean would have had this in the bag by now, but yeah. Still early days, though, turn 3. So moving on to turn 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Alrighty, here we have the end of my turn 4. So I had this Predator fired and blew up this Rhino. Khan moved up so that he could charge the Rhino if the Predator failed. Then this Predator split his fire. He fired a single las cannon into the Rhino, which killed it. That Rhino then exploded and did d6 mortal wounds to this unit, killing one of them. And then it fired its autocannon and second las cannon into this unit, which did nothing. It's also worth noting that you have to make sure you allocate all your shooting before you start rolling. So I probably spent a good 5 minutes thinking about it, or trying to figure out how do you allocate this. So I decided to go risky and just throw a single las cannon into the Rhino and then allocate the rest of it onto the Marine, which turned out was the right thing to do, but it still wasn't.
If you gone the other way though, and you missed that, you would have lost a lot.
Yeah.
You would have got nothing actually from that entire thing.
So it was a risky move, but yeah.
It paid off as best as it could have, really.
So we've got one Marine standing here, Khan standing out in the middle of nowhere with Vindicators looking at him, but I do still have all 3 of my Predators alive. This combat, as you'd expect, went absolutely nowhere, and then these Berserkers have just bunkered down. And that's my turn 4. So we'll jump into Dwayne's turn 4, and we'll be right back.
So here we have my turn 4, I believe? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's been a bit of a slow slog. We're both still learning. Obviously, it's quite a lot to take in. Vindicators this turn opened up on, or one of them opened up on Khan again, giving him a total of 5 wounds.
Yep.
So he was pretty much instantly, the closest you can get to instantly gibbed.
Yep.
This Vindicator opened up with the Corn Berserkers, got 1. Starting to realise where the Vindicator's strength lies, and it's definitely not for killing single wound models. Princess moved up, accomplished nothing. Melter Gun, he missed. And over there...
Nothing, as you'd expect.
I don't want to bother walking over, it's not worth it. I'm just going to zoom in. Yeah. These idiots over here have done nothing again. That's it. That's all that happened. I killed Khan, I killed a Corn Berserker. But it's more than you did in my turn. So.
That's true. So we're jumping into turn 5.
You're done. Alright.
Back at the end of my turn 5. So I had an interesting little strategy here. So I was a little concerned because he had one Marine with a melter gun here and a Demon Prince here, which meant that I couldn't shoot the Demon Prince because the melter gun guy was closer. So what I did is I moved this Predator up, killed the melter gun guy, which then allowed this Predator to shoot the Prince and kill it. So that worked quite well. 2 las cannon shots just shot that Prince in the dick and he died. No worries.
Killed him if he wasn't already wounded.
Yeah. 2d6 damage. It was just like, here, have a fuck ton of wounds. And then these Berserkers just moved up so that they were holding this objective. And my Predator failed to do any damage in combat. And the Obliterators did 1 wound back, but it's not enough. So we're going to jump into Dwayne's turn 5, and then we'll do the roll-off.
Into my turn, we can not expect much from over here.
Yeah.
Let's not even talk about it.
Yep.
Up here, attempting to move the Vindicators up and try and take that objective back, because I don't think I can deal with the Corn Berserkers. But sort of whiffed the roll to damage the Predator, and then using a command point whiffed that as well.
He hit and wound, and then with his d6 damage he rolled a 1. So he's gone, I'm going to use a command point, and then he re-rolled it, and it was another 1. So he did a single wound off the Predator.
Single wound out of what, 11 or 12 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So with a good roll, I should have probably taken it out, but we didn't. So here we are.
Yep.
We're rolling to continue.
Yep, I'll roll it.
Roll it live.
So
well, not live, but yeah.
On a 1 or a 2, it is game over. Nope, we get 1 more turn.
One more turn. All right, let's go.
Alrighty, here we have the end of my turn 5. So this fucking Predator whiffed hard. rolled his 2 las cannons, rolled 2 1s, so he missed both of those shots. Then the auto cannon does 2d3, so I rolled those 2 dice, and they were both 1s as well, so I got 2 shots. And then rolling to hit, I rolled a 1 and a 6. So out of the 6 dice it rolled, 5 of them were 1s, which is fucking retarded. Anyway, then we moved over onto this one, and he also whiffed pretty hard, but I did manage to strip 4 wounds off of that Vindicator. The Obliterators put another wound on the Predator, and I did none in return, but I'm confident that's going to grind out forever, so no wuckers. So now Dwayne has an opportunity to try and do some damage, so we'll chuck it over to him.
We witnessed the awesome power of Vindicators.
Yes, we did.
Moved up and totally committed to holding that objective. This could be the last game turn, and I get the last player turn as well, I believe. So this could be a good move. We still have to work out everything else, but I'm pretty sure that was a good choice. This Vindy opened up 3 shots, hit 2, 1 failed to wound, which I re-rolled thanks to command point spam, which then wounded again.
Yep.
And I got something like 8 whole points off on it. Was already half dead. So got the Predator. Did it explode? Because it might actually kill me.
That's fair.
I'd hate for it to... Yeah.
No.
Unless you want to re-roll that.
I kind of do. Yeah, I do.
It could change. It could literally win you the game.
No.
So there we are. So let's see if it ends. We're just going to keep going.
So 1, 2, or a 3, it's game over.
Done.
Game over. So
Sorry,
that makes it a
that
tie.
landed in the one spot where I wasn't recording. Because it was behind. That's all right.
Yeah.
That's
So
all right.
so it's a tie game before you close the video out.
Yeah.
So you're holding one objective, I'm holding the other. You got first blood.
Yep.
We both got Slay the Warlord. You got Linebreaker.
Yep.
I also got Linebreaker.
The corn did.
So it literally came down to first blood.
First blood. And I thought I was going to lose that with that,
Yeah.
that Land Raider getting like pummeled to, what, 3 wounds left on the first turn?
So perhaps I should have used my Predators to target something softer, like a Rhino, just to try and get that first blood, because then I might have won. So
Yeah.
interesting. Had it gone another turn though, I think it would have swung back in my direction.
In the same vein though, without taking out that Land Raider, that has so much board presence.
Yeah, and it's so powerful.
And it's 4 las cannon shots. Like I can probably take with some good rolls, I could take out a Predator a turn.
Yeah. So if the game had ended on turn 5, I would have won because I was holding both. Then it went to turn 6, which is now you winning.
Yep.
And if it went to turn 7, then this one would have tried to kill that, and if I succeeded, I would have then won.
Bet you didn't.
But I didn't. So yeah, good game. I enjoyed it.
Well done, man.
What were your thoughts? Let's spin the camera.
Spin the camera to you.
Yeah.
You just take that. You can
Yep,
edit it out.
there we go. So, yeah, so what are your thoughts? First game of 8th edition. What did you love? What did you hate? How did you feel?
There wasn't much I did not enjoy. Although a little bit complicated to start with, being that I've played an edition of 40k that's stuck in pretty much the same vein for so long.
Yeah,
It's a little bit hard to get out of those habits of what's my initiative and all that stuff. But
it's a little bit jarring when you get your first game into it.
it's. Do you ever play Dawn of War?
Yeah.
It's like going from Dawn of War 1 to Dawn of War 2.
Yeah.
That was so much different. I could not play it. I couldn't understand it. That being said, though, like, there's a lot of rolling to do with the Vindicators. The Vindicators need like 4 or 5 rolls to work out what they're actually doing.
Yeah, it's interesting because they say it's a faster game now. From my experience, that's not the case. But that could also be because...
You also have like 4 assaults per assault as well.
Yeah. I think it's also because we have to stop every 5 minutes to look up the rules. Whereas once you know that down pat,
once we get
it might be a bit faster.
What I did hate was Obliterators. I don't think there was much I didn't enjoy about this. Spawn are insane. They didn't get to really prove it. Land Raiders are insane. The Rhinos were insane. Everything did something except for the Obliterators.
I reckon Sorcerer on the bike was fucking
Sorcerer on
good.
the bike was pretty good as well for what he did. Like he did what he needed to get done. Smite was awesome. Obviously learning about target choice and stuff like that. The Vindicators are not good at taking out single win models. That's
yeah. Well, part of the obvious thing with the Vindicator is it does D6 damage, so you want to be targeting multiple wound models.
Yeah,
so if your opponent brings a fuck ton of guardsmen, you're just gonna be like, fuck, my Vindicators are useless.
And that's when you bring the Obliterators, but probably not because they're bad.
Yeah.
But against the Predators, amazing. Against Khan,
I was actually a huge fan of Predators. I would take them again for sure.
I really liked them as well. I'd probably pay the points to have triple as, just because I like that.
See,
the fact that the autocannons do D3, 3 auto.
Yeah, the thing about the autocannon on the top is it's a lot more reliable because it does
It's a lot
3
stronger than it
damage.
seems.
Every shot that gets through does 3 damage. The problem is it doesn't have the rend, so it's not ignoring armor, and it's not as strong. So toughness 8 vehicles, it's wounding them on 5s, which
Might
was
be
hurt.
worth writing up a small little chart to say like what is actually better.
Yeah.
statistically. Because the other thing as well is you can go from, with just 2 dice hitting and wounding on this thing, you can go from doing like what 6 wounds
Yeah.
to like 18 wounds or something like that if you roll well.
Yeah, and I think that this game we used up. I'm pretty sure we used up all of our command
I
points,
probably
but
have a couple left over, but we've done alright.
I think this is a good example of you want as many command points as you can. Because imagine if every time you rolled d6 damage and you rolled a 1, you got to re-roll that. The chances of you doing significantly better increases.
It's a really great tool. It also helps you in those really clutch moments where you need anything but a 1 or And like,
Yeah, well,
for
I
me,
failed
was
that
using
charge with my Demon Prince. I rolled Snake Eyes for that charge, but I was like, nah, I'm going to command point, re-roll that one. You know, whereas imagine if I didn't make that charge, it would have been a completely different... There's so many opportunities where it would have been a completely different game without the command points. So I think they're a great addition.
This is going to be a great addition.
Yeah.
The whole
Speaking of great additions.
I did not... even though I thought I was against the wall, and I probably was for the start of that, I didn't feel like, as we discussed earlier off camera, that nothing didn't have a job to do.
Yeah.
Except for Obliterators.
Yeah.
I can't stress enough how disappointing that was.
I think Obliterators are almost more of an anti-infantry unit now. Like, they drop down...
Their tank shock, their tank ability is null and void.
Yeah, I think they're good at taking out
Marines.
Marines.
In combat, the fact that, what was it, 8 Corn Berserkers...
Yeah, that was that. See, that's an example of something that's really jarring. Previously,
you'd be terrified of putting 4 Corn Berserkers near a Rhino in 7, but now like 8 of them struggle to get through.
Yeah, I charged full strength unit of Berserkers, charged into a Rhino, and didn't kill it. It's like previously they would have been getting.
Like, is having 1 Power Fist in there if you can?
Yeah.
Worth that on the odd chance you do come across a tank? I'd probably say no. Still,
yeah,
points cost.
We'll see.
But, yeah, very interesting. I absolutely loved it. That's probably my favourite game of 40k I've had in a while.
Yeah.
And it's not even out yet.
Alrighty, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. And, let us know what you want to see in future games. And I'm disappointed to say that I've played 4 games so far of 8th edition, and I've lost 3 of them. So I'm not doing great for this edition. But I'm having a fuckload of fun doing it. So, yeah, we'll be back to you guys soon with another battle report.
Warhammer for the Blood God.